Mark Rober, same type of Chinese brother, but she didn't want to say that, but I said it for you.
Rover.
Okay, so he worked at NASA, and where else did he work?
Everywhere.
Smart, accomplished guy. He seems to be our age. I think he's like actually 40, something like that.
My age.
He looks young, but he's older. He's got a wife, a kid or two, people things, and just does crazy shit. Lots of crazy shit. Now, if you watch a lot of his videos, which I think everybody ends up watching his videos at one time or another.
You've probably seen one,
Right.
at least,
I've also noticed that you can't not watch him without going on fast speed. So this video is about kind of how he does his production style. There's some guy interviewing him, and they're like, hey, how do you do all this? Like video-wise. Like, he does crazy inventions, but like the videos. How do you do the videos? And he's like, I don't know. I just do them. This is one of our personal favorites.
The glitter bomb one, yeah, that was pretty intense. It's like, how would anybody be able to get away with doing something like that without it being like too serious,
right, or personal,
too personal? And he's like finding a way to be like, I'm catching thieves and it's still funny. All right,
you're getting away with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Mr. Super Double Decider.
Right.
I've also seen him work with Mr. Beast a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think those two guys, I think they were doing the trash thing, the trash pickup on Trash Island or something like that.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I did see that they were doing like trees, like they were planting trees or something like that.
Yeah, trees to trash. That was
okay,
trees, trash, treasure.
Yes.
That's what it's called. So here's some DE and DI. If you notice that with people in pictures, like watch for family pictures.
I have to do this. Yeah. I have to point at the other guy.
Yeah, you'll notice that if you look for it. And then social-wise, he's kind of more of a number one, and he's more of, we would call kind of like a number two, which is more of like a supporter, entrepreneur, stuff like that. Notice the
team-oriented.
Did you see that? Did you see the trees I put in there? You didn't see that, did you?
I
saw if they were gone.
There you go. Yeah,
Look at that.
No one would pick up on that.
Yeah, that's so good. Pick up on this. He's also in shape, so he's just better than you in every single way. Every way, this guy's better than you.
Right, he's an inventor.
Just moving along. That's just little screen goes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, project oriented as well as T and NT, like Doc Brown or Adam Savage type of master, tinker, inventor,
right,
etc.
Right, very project oriented. That's one of the things that you could catch. Like if you're interested in the social order things that we've been kind of talking about. Project oriented is what the number twos are all about. They're usually entrepreneurs. They're usually they're obsessed with going from A to Z. So they will find things where they can actually begin a project and finish a project.
So if you're NT, you're working on gadgets. If you have
perfect.
SETE, you're working on business.
Right.
Just where does it play out?
Right.
So here's with his buddy. So this is a double feminine version of him.
Yeah.
They seem to also be more different than just the sexuals. I don't know if it's a social order difference or what, but he also seems to be like not a sleep last, you know what I'm talking about? So here's the glitter bomb, we'll get to that, and here's this type, so you can get to that, gobble that up. See if we got it all right. So yeah, double activated on the extroverted functions.
Which are both feminine.
Yeah, right.
And then he has like the grounding of the masculine sleep.
That's also like, I'm always looking for that. Where's your masculines land? And if your masculines land on your sleep, that's definitely kind of a boost, a bonus if you get one of those. And then if it's sleep last, like David Goggins, like that works out well. Like
it does.
If you're gonna have something last, have it masculine.
Right.
It's hard if you have it last and feminine.
I know.
That's a son of a bitch. Then you're just top heavy.
It's just very hard.
Saviors.
So I'll have an idea. The first thought is like, what's the thumbnail? What's the title? And if I can then take this and explain it to someone in a sentence or two, and they get it, I could see their eyes light up. Like right now, we're in the backyard where I filmed my, I had some squirrels that were stealing some of my bird seeds, so I made a Ninja Warrior obstacle course for them to get the seed. If they wanted the seeds, they had to earn it. And I had that conversation with 20 people before, and every time I had it, they're like, oh, that's cool, right? So that's when you got a banger. Kind of workshopping a little bit, bouncing the ideas off people, but at the end of the day, you got to have a pretty good calibrated sort of, a compass within yourself about what's going to work and what won't.
That's like a perfect explanation of FE and TI. Yeah. Like, save your TI. You got to have your internal compass of what's going to work. Anyways, the way that you figure out what's going to work is you go check a bunch of people and see their eyes light up.
Because he's got to be the one to build it, but he's like, I don't want to build it if you're not happy. I think that's such a great combo of like, would this make you happy? Yes. Okay, then I'll go build it.
Because what I see, like the problem, like the INTPs or the lead TIs, because ISTPs will do the same thing, is they will start with that idea and they'll be like, I got to make sure I can do something that is unique. I want to be the first one to do it or the one to do it my own way. And they will go and start working on something and not necessarily check in until they're done. So it's interesting to hear, him double activated FE as well, even though it's a demon, it's still double activated.
Why not check first?
But like checking that first before he goes to do the work.
So he's just wasting so much time he is not.
sounds like you do a lot of expansive brainstorming. You just do it in your own head.
That's right.
And you're working through those ideas.
And it's always on. It's always thinking. If anything happens, it's like, is that a video? No. Is that a video? No. Is that a video? No. Is that a video? Yes.
And then it makes it into the notebook.
That one of the things that comes with experience is knowing like, oh, I can do this. This will work. And that's just something you build up over time, you know. So I can't think of an example where I should make this thing that turns out I can't make it, you know. Part of that is just tenacity. And sometimes the video, like I did an automatic bullseye dartboard that just took me 3 years. I wasn't willing to say no, and finally I figured out a way to do it, you know. I'm working on another one. I can't say the idea yet, but we've been working really hard on this one for like a year and a half, and it's probably still another 6 months out. So in certain cases, when I have the idea, we'll brainstorm how could you effectively pull this off, and then we'll kind of like down select, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? I gave 0 examples.
So wait, does those squirrels, do they ever get the seeds? Wait.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
so.
you're he's saying it's always on, and this is what's always on. The saviors are always on. It's
Yeah.
NETI, just always thinking, always working, always angling. I love he's like, I can't think of any examples, but he actually does.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
like that is definitely a hard thing with the end. It's like I can't think of an example. So here's an example of not thinking of examples. It's like, say you're going to Disneyland with your family.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to take a car ride to Disneyland. So it's like the intuitive is like, okay, great, tell me about Disneyland, and Donald Duck's going to be there, and Mickey Mouse, and I'm going to pants him, and I'm going to pull him down, and I'm going to go to the gift shop. So much fun stuff to do at Disneyland. There's new rides, right? And the Century is like, so the car ride, we are going to sit in the front seat, and I will sit in the other front seat, and we will go 65 miles an hour, and the steering wheel, like, why are we talking about sensory and examples? Let's get to the end. I can't think of an example because I'm so excited about the end, just to kind of give you what it feels like to be end dominant. I'm like, I can't stop and think about the car ride in detail because I'm thinking about Disneyland.
Is there anything that you always have in place? Like, is there any pre-production documents, storyboards? Do you know what the hook is going to be? I mean, I don't want to foreshadow any of your storytelling process, but you have an idea in a notebook, and then it's organized in Mark Rober's head, and other than that, nothing's documented.
As long as the idea is big enough and there's a payoff to it, it's more for me to start with the big thing that's interesting and cool. So I start there. I start with the big finish line moment, and then I've always been able to find juicy story nuggets to like build us up to that point. What's hilarious, this just goes to show my naivete, is like I don't even know what the term pre-production means, like in the industry, right? That's why it's like helpful to talk with pros. I'm like, so I worried at first that I would run out of ideas, but like after 2 or 3 years, I'm always like a year and a half ahead. I've got like a notebook that has all these ideas in it, and at any given moment currently I'm working on 9 videos. I release about once a month, but the thing is my builds take so long that they're all just in different stages.
What the hell? So tell me about the guy next to him. He seems to be, what do you think?
I was thinking like a ISFP, like a consume sleep. That we just see this type a lot, and they are usually like double masculine. See the eyes that are really, really set far back?
Yeah, right.
Like double masculine, ISFP, but probably mopey. And
Really?
double observer.
I felt that. I felt double observer, probably IP, same thing. So he's like double observing. So he's the baseline of like, okay, normal processing of information.
Right, he's like, okay, so pre-production. He's just gonna.
And Mark's rolling his eyes. He's like, no, I don't do any of that. I don't even know what the word means.
Any OI. There's 0 OI. I just have a gather pile is exactly what he's explaining. And this is what like a lot of the OEs have no idea that they're not planning, because they don't realize that planning is not going to your gather pile and then having a disarray of a bunch of ideas that are slapping on top of each other. Like that's not actually trying to create control and create order and not having that pile.
Right.
This is somebody that is consistently producing, also using their saviors, but is just a genuinely caring good guy, is using his saviors, but is like consistent in using his saviors, and also absolutely checking the outside world, absolutely making sure that he's caring about the tribe and blending with the tribe and working with the tribe and producing consistently. So there is just something about this guy where he's obviously at such a top level. He's able to work for NASA and Apple and all of these companies.
It's very objective.
He really, really is. And it's just somebody that I look up to because of his character and his attitude. And I don't give a shit that he's using his saviors to do. It's like, good.
Right.
That makes so much sense to me, that you're able to firepower with your saviors to get all of this stuff done and also be very calm about it. Like, he's not the kind of person that is actually knocking over his life because of the delusions or fears.
He's got enough growth mindset to deal with the negativity, to calibrate, and then enough objectivity to keep himself accountable. So he's not just running loose, making everybody else pay for it.
Right.
Speaking of, so the next clip is him attacking the people that are stealing the porch pirate stuff. So
I just loved that one.
And you'll notice this is a total
custom print. These are the fictitious Buzz 700s, named of course after Kevin's older brother. And if the thieves took just 2 seconds to actually inspect the package, they would see that all the words on the side are just slightly modified quotes from Home Alone, in addition to this amazing testimonial. And so then we just slapped on a fake shipping label and used a random barcode sticker to cover up the nightly charging port, and we were good to go. So the idea is the bad guy comes sneaking by and then steals it off the porch. And then when they eventually remove the lid, a magnet taped inside triggers this Hall effect sensor, which tells the circuit board brain it's go time, and everything is set in motion. And as far as I'm concerned, relatively harmless, karmic justice has never looked so beautiful.
Karmic justice.
Sprinkles in your eye.
Little SIs.
Yeah. SIFE for you.
Yeah.
I'm not using headphones. I'm not using those headphones. Okay, it's a really good one.
Surprise, mother.
Please get that in his eye.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Operation Whoever Smelt It Dealt It initiated. Operation Butt Trumpet initiated.
Oh. Alright, we fucking get it, okay.
We fucking get it. Oh, karmic justice.
Merry Christmas.